Ms. Ingrid Weir, who is a and I think she's wanted to make you guys laugh, probably at me. Feel free to start with me.
Am I on? Okay.
And then we'll go. And tell me you're off. I'll shut up now.
All right.
You're on, Ingrid.
I'm on? Oh, thank you. I can tell because I can hear myself, and that is really, really annoying to me. Anyway, so, first of all, I think we need to give a big hand to Swing Out Atlanta for coming out here and dancing for us. Though, my day job is public relations, and so I was trying to help them out with publicity for the event. And when I got here, I was so relieved. By the way, I do the heavy breathing thing. I was so relieved to find out that it was dancing, because that's not what Google showed me. So, I've never been a great dancer. I mean, I can go like that with the best of them, and Roger Rabbit, that stuff, whatever. Now, my little sister, though, back in the 90s, we had I think it was called the bankhead bounce, where you went like that. I could never do it really, but she was really good at it. She has stopped, though, I think, one, because it's not 1997, but two, she got a boob job. And then she kept getting herself black eyes. So, I have a signature move that I'm fairly well known for that actually came out of necessity, though. It's called the defensive funky chicken. Now, there was this club that my friends and I went to. You know the type of club where you walk in and all of a sudden you're hit by the aroma of Axe body spray, desperation, and then by the end of the night, just shame. That's this club. So we're in there and we're dancing, man, get our group on. Then all of a sudden, you know when something terrible's about to happen and everything starts going in slow motion? I look over and my friend is noticing that everything's in slow motion as I am. And there's this guy, and he's the perfect height, boob height. And he comes up and attaches himself to my chin. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had somebody attach themselves to your chin. It's not pleasant. And he had such suction that it would make that, that weird Dyson guy? It would make him shut the hell up finally. Because she's pulling on him, and I'm pushing, trying to get him off of me. Eventually, we finally do. And I gotta tell you, come Monday morning, it's hard enough to explain a normal hickey. But a chin hickey? Really? So at that point, that is when I developed the defensive funky chicken. See, it looks like I already dance like a moron anyway, so it looks like I'm just going with it. So whenever I start to see things going, what I do is I get down like this, start going like this around my friends, and see, bam, right to the trachea if somebody tries to touch my chin again. But some people have told me, oh, the poor guy, poor guy, he's just looking for love. First of all, if somebody told him to look for love there, he was very, very misguided. He was just looking for love. Now, I understand that, because we all are. Despite what any of us might say, that despite what we may try to run away from it, or whatever it is because of whatever happened in our childhood, or whatever it is. But everybody, at our core, that's what we're looking for, right? The kind of love that my grandparents had, where 15 years after my grandpa died, she'd be still making him dinner. That kind of love. I haven't been so lucky in my pursuit. I'll admit that. So one day, as I was in this relationship, which I stayed in them too long, I realized it's way after it's done. Feedback. It's way after it's done. When you walk in and you're wearing your stilettos and your Fredericks of Hollywood, and he won't look up from his World of Warcraft to even acknowledge you exist, that's when you really know it's over. So, I know that it's come this time, and I break up with him, and then he comes back, oh, I love you, whatever. And then I keep taking him back because I can't stand somebody crying. It's a weakness. But, so I decide, I realize, suddenly I'm dating the same person I've dated my entire dating life. So I'm obsessed with data analysis. So I make a spreadsheet of everybody that I've dated. I'm looking at it, trying to find out what's wrong with them. And then I look at it and I suddenly realize the only common denominator, me. I was like, crap. So I go to therapy and tell her about it, about how I keep dating the same guy, and he has a different eye color, different hair color, different religious background, different name. He keeps trying to fool me, but when it comes down to it, he is the same guy. And tell her I want to break up with him. I never, ever want to date this guy again. So after a few months, I finally break up with him, right? And so I decide I'm good at a few other things. I'm going to concentrate on them. I'm not going to date for, say, a few years. Then one day she's like, Ingrid, you have to date eventually. So she suggests eHarmony. So I go on there and I look. And have you guys looked at eHarmony, by the way? Because there are all these happy couples on there, but there is one thing in common. At least one of them have a 5-head. You guys know what a 5-head is? That's when your forehead is so big that you need an extra number. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'll go back and look at my spreadsheet. I've never dated a 5-head. Maybe this is what I should do. So I go and I fill out their 500-question personality quiz, and when it comes up, I don't know if you guys have done this, turns out I am awesome. But then it wants me to fill out actual words after I've taken all of this time. I mean, I even took a nap during the test. It was so long. And so I fill out the words. And naturally, I do what anybody would do. I fill it out sarcastically. You know, things like when it says about you, I'm like, I smell like curry and I chase groundhogs. Which actually, I do have an obsession with groundhogs. Seriously, and ask my brother there. He didn't believe that I kept seeing them. But yeah. I did, and I want to chase them and keep them for myself. Anyway, I know that if you can relate to that, that's not normal. So, I started actually getting responses to my sarcastic questionnaire. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm going to go on there, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Maybe my Mr. Right with the 5-head is somewhere on there. But no, I go on there, and they won't let you see the damn pictures unless you pay for it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't care about his personality. I want to see what he looks like. Because you know what? I've dated good-looking guys, I've dated bad-looking guys, but when it comes down to it, once you hate them, it feels a lot better to look over in the bed and then to be good-looking. Right? Thank you. So anyhow, I was like, forget that. So I go on Facebook, and I date this one guy who he pretended like he was everything I wanted him to be. Yeah. The thing is with Facebook is people can look on there and find out everything about you. Little did he know, though, that I filled out that sarcastically, too. So I finally dumped him when he told me that 30-year-olds, and women over 30 actually, were no longer desirable. I was 32. I don't think so. So, I dumped him. The next day I was asked out by 2 guys under 30. But that's regardless. It was just give it a jump. So anyhow, so I decided that I need to go back to my therapist, right? But it turns out she's moving unexpectedly, which was really, really good for my abandonment issues. Anyhow, so I go and I try this other woman. And she seems nice enough. She starts asking me all of the questions and everything. So I'm answering them, and then I realize that something's off. And then I look at her and I realize, this this woman is asleep. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, first I checked with my HMO to make sure they wouldn't cover it. But I sat there and I said, I don't think I'm going to make another appointment with this woman. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you were going to ask me intimate questions about my personal life and fall asleep while I'm answering them, I better have had at least one orgasm first. And that is it for me. Thank you all. You guys have a great night. Take care.
Thank you, Ingrid. Awesome. So again, I'm Christian. Was it somebody out at me? You know, my imagination. I think we got Jim's gonna be taking us home for the rest of the night. Jim, as we say in the dance world, all skate.